All right, we have more information coming in at this point in time. Kamala Harris is not speaking at the Harvard University today where she was supposed to. Large crowds have begun to leave is what Rohit in fact was telling us earlier as well. So there's disappointment on, in fact, in the Democrat camp with Kamala Harris there deciding not to speak at the Harvard where she was supposed to. Now staring clearly at a defeat, she is possibly... All right, pictures on your screen right now out of the supporters leaving Harvard where they were. In fact, they had gathered right there to listen to Kamala Harris. These are pictures coming in from Washington, D.C., where Kamala Harris supporters were there, keen to listen to her speak at the Harvard University. But she isn't doing it, is what we know. Staring at a defeat. She was, in fact, supposed to speak at Harvard, but she isn't going to be speaking there in Harvard University, her alma mater, where the supporters had also gathered. So there's disappointment for the Democrats. Kamala Harris not turning up at the Harvard University tonight, where she was, in fact, supposed to speak. There clearly is somber mood at Kamala Harris's alma mater, Harvard University, as hopes there for victory seem to be dimming even further. Pictures, in fact, are on your left side of the screen of the Republicans celebrating there on what appears to be an inevitable victory there for Donald Trump these elections. On the right side are pictures, in fact, that we had previously put out. These are old pictures of Kamala Harris from the campaign. And right now what we know is that she isn't speaking at the Harvard University, her alma mater, where she was supposed to, as hopes for a victory only dim. This was Kamala Harris's watch party where the supporters had gathered very keenly to listen in to her. However, we have pictures, and we'll put that out once again for our viewers, of the supporters leaving the Harvard University. Clearly, a somber mood among the students there, faculty and alumni, as the night wears on, with their hopes that Harris could possibly become the first president to graduate, is in fact dimming even further. Harvard, in fact, had prepared for a historic moment, what they hoped would have been a historic moment, but it wasn't to be. A long list of supporters were seen, and we have those supporters, as you can see in these pictures, who are leaving the university right now. The people, supporters stretching down the street as people gathered after casting their vote to listen in to her. This was a watch party that was organized, and this time around there is disappointment, and they are leaving. Remember, Kamala Harris had graduated from Harvard University in 1986 with a bachelor's degree in political science and economics. This is effectively her alma mater, where she had promised to, in fact, speak to her supporters, the faculty, the alumni, and this event has now been cancelled. What a disappointment there, Geeta. We have these pictures of the supporters, the alumni, the faculty who are leaving the Harvard University at this point in time where Kamala Harris was set to speak, Geeta. All right, we'll just go back to Geeta in a moment from now. Gaurav Sawant also joining in with the very latest on that. Gaurav, these pictures, I think, kind of sum up what to expect in the next few hours. Great disappointment for the alma mater, for, in fact, the faculty and the alumni who were ready to welcome their alma mater, Kamala Harris, but she's not speaking at that event in Washington, D.C. at Harvard.
You know, the writing now appears to be on the wall. Elon Musk had called it out a couple of hours ago when he said it's game, set and match. But there were some who argued that it's perhaps a little too soon, and is he jumping the gun on this? But when you look at the trends in the 7 swing states and just look at the numbers, if you talk about Pennsylvania, 2016, the Republicans had it, 2020, the Democrats had it, but now 2024, Trump appears to be leading here. Georgia, 16 electoral college seats. Republicans in 2016, Democrats in 2020. Joe Biden, once again, Georgia leaning very clearly in favor of Donald Trump right now. So just look at all these numbers and how they stack up. And perhaps, Team Kamala Harris was disappointed with the outcome, especially in Pennsylvania. Now, when you look at all these swing states and how they voted in 2020, so Pennsylvania was Democrat, Georgia was Democrat, North Carolina remained Republican even then, Michigan Democrat, Arizona Democrat, Wisconsin Democrat, Nevada remains Democrat 2016 and 2020. So, desperately to remain in the battle, Kamala Harris needed at least 3 of these 7 swing states. And many of her supporters still say it's too soon to call. The Republicans have popped the bubbly a bit too soon, even if informally. Formally, everyone's waiting for results. But then this disappointment at the university is for all to see.
Gaurav, also put this into perspective. How and why are these swing states important? We know that these aren't committed to any ideology, any political party, and they keep on changing. But these are the states effectively that in a way decide who wins the race to the White House. What has happened in the past? Put this into perspective.
Oh, you're absolutely right. In fact, not just the swing states. In the swing states, the Americans are now going down to counties. Which county votes which way? And it also depends on the population. Now, the Democrats were hoping that the women voters would come out in very large numbers and cutting across whether, they're Latina voters or whether they're African American, whether they're Asian women or white American women. They hoped all the women voters would go, Kamala Harris's way or the Democrat way. Has that actually happened? The Republicans say clearly not. On the other hand, if you look at the African-American male voters or the Latino voters or the Asian voters, especially second generation, and the white Americans without college degrees. Now, look, they're going down to that fine line, the kind of degrees, the kind of education, the background, the blue-collar job, the white-collar job, and that is where Donald Trump made that big push. And that last minute, that 11th hour push by Donald Trump, where he quoted Ronald Reagan and took that Ronald Reagan line, "Are you better off today than you were 4 years ago?" And when you vote, look at that answer. So, are you saving more money in your grocery bill? Are you spending more money? The biggest question, that Rahul was also just talking about a short while back. 74% of the respondents said that they were unhappy with the way things are being run, and yet this battle was too close to call as far as pollsters were concerned. Though there were many in the United States of America who did say that Donald Trump has a much better chance to come back because of this answer. 1, inflation, economy. 2, the immigration, the number of illegals who were entering the United States of America. So, in India, when you talk about that Ghuspaitiya issue in elections, the Ghuspaitiya, it seems very clearly, was also a major issue in the United States of America.